So I'm sure you guys have already seen the discourse online of people saying that the Switch 2 is overpriced, overglorified, and there's just a general amount of hate towards the system. A lot of this does have to do with rage bait, clickbait, and also this whole doom or gloom society that we've got on the internet. Either something has to be fantastically wonderful and it's the best thing ever and it's void of all criticisms, or it's the absolute worst and everyone is happy that it's the worst and that it's not doing well. But for all of the negativity, I wanted to stop and take a moment to actually look at the Switch 2's price point, and I was surprised to say the least. I was surprised to hear from my buddy that the launch prices in the US of all of the next-gen consoles, PS5 $499, Xbox Series X $499, Switch 2 $449. Wait, one could argue that the console itself isn't up to par with the same graphical fidelity of the PS5 and Xbox, but honestly, high-end graphics don't mean jack. But okay. Let's take a look at what the consoles currently cost versus the Nintendo Switch 2. These are going to end up being prices mostly based off of Amazon and in Canada. Unfortunately, I couldn't find any of the console bundles or various other methods of purchasing through Amazon.com. I don't know if the site is just weird like that or because I'm Canadian, it just doesn't track it properly. Suffice to say, the absolute most expensive bundle for a console right now is the Xbox Series X bundled with a game. It is $899 because Microsoft randomly ended up increasing the price of the Xbox when they saw that the Switch was doing so well. Not realizing that the Switch is the new hot thing, $10 under that at $889 is the PS5 Pro. Keeping in mind this is not including a bundled game or anything. But for $729 we've got the PS5 bundled with Astro Bot, which Astrobot's a great game, that's a good bundle, but it's still pretty dang expensive. Lower than that, we have the Xbox Series X on its own at $728. And finally, 4 console bundles in, we get the Switch 2 bundled with Mario Kart at $699 Canadian. But surprise, surprise, it is actually not the cheapest console because we've got some that are cheaper. The Xbox Series X digital only version is $678, but again, keeping in mind that this is just the system, no game. Then at $649, we've got the PS5 with the disc, and at $639, we've got the PS5 digital, and then oh ho ho, what's this? At $629, we have the Nintendo Switch 2 without the game. With the only console being cheaper than it is the Xbox Series S at $449. So for all of the clickbait you're seeing online, that's exactly what it is. Clickbait. Because it is an outright lie to say that this system is the most expensive and ridiculously overpriced. But it's clearly not, and I'm sick of people whining and complaining about the price as if it's not justified. Yes, the console is not as powerful as the PS5 or the Xbox, but it's portable, and again, the argument can be said that it has its exclusives. Yes, the only real exclusive right now is going to end up being Mario Kart, but the fact is that the console is also backwards compatible and makes the older games actually run well. No surprise, the internet is blowing it out of proportion, as they do with everything these days.